What is going on, guys? What a crazy week. NVIDIA's earnings, SPY, the ascending channel that we've been in. So we're going to go into the charts in just a second. And don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Really pushes out the channel. I'd really appreciate that. Now, real quick, this is my Discord community. We've been absolutely crushing it in here. Check this play out, actually. So I called this out today at 151. It was Palantir calls. And literally within 6-7 minutes, they pumped up $100 win right there. Now I did keep one. Let's see what happens next week. And then also this morning we had another one, which was we had some stuff in between as well. But I bought some Palantir calls this morning as well, and those did well. Made a few $100 there. So we're absolutely crushing it here in the Discord. Also, check this out. This is one of our members. She's been absolutely crushing it. This is from this week. Literally all green. Like everything is green except for this one play that was negative $21 versus all of this green. Like that's insane. Okay, so if you want access to our Discord, the link is in the description. Now let's go check out the charts. Okay, so again, like I've been talking about SPY. A lot of people, a lot of investors, a lot of traders, they're watching the charts. They're watching where we're at. I mean, look at this. We've been in this sideways movement for months now, just chopping around, and then we're overall in this ascending channel basically. Now, what I told my Discord community is I said, we really don't want to see this close. What am I on the hour chart? Let me look at the day. What we really don't want to see is we don't want to see a break below this structure right here to the downside. We don't want to close today out basically at 683.50 ish. We don't want to close below that. Now, as you can see, we did push up at the end of the day. I think we were sitting like at 150. We're sitting at like 684, and then we pushed all the way up. So we did close above it. Now, something to see next week. Now, February is coming. It's basically over. So come Monday, it'll be the 2nd of March. And usually, again, February is one of the worst trading months. So hopefully that we get some movement to the upside. Now, I would expect again next week we're gonna have to see what the charts say. We're gonna have to see what's going on. We're gonna have to see the news and stuff like that. I mean, as you know, anything can happen. I think Trump just made a tweet earlier, like two hours after close, and it kind of sold off the markets. Basically, he was saying that not to use Anthropics. They're the ones that made Claude, and that's what sent the cyber stocks, cyber security stocks going downhill. They've been getting cooked off of that news. Okay, so I would like to see us push up to the top of this channel next week at 696, and let's see if we can finally break this, or if we're going to reject again. Now, like I said, this channel right here that we're in is usually bearish unless we break the top of this channel. Okay, so some key levels that I'm looking for again for this next week would basically be a break below this 684 level. If we break this on Monday, we could possibly come down to the 675. This has been strong support, so we're going to have to see if this holds. If this doesn't hold, then look out below. We're probably coming down to this 200 SMA. Okay, now let's see if we can hold this line, hold this level, and come back up here to 696, and ultimately pass it, and then come up to the top of this channel, break an all-time high at 700 on SPY. Okay, so again, those are the levels that I'm looking at. Basically, just to reiterate what I said, we don't want to break this level. If we break this level here, this ascending channel, in my opinion, I think we're coming back down to the 675 level to test support. Okay, and then if we break that, we're gonna have to see if we bounce off of it or break below it. If we break, I'm telling you that right now, if we break below this level right here, the floor is the limit. Okay, so now let me go look at APLD. Okay, now if you remember this one from the other day, I basically said that I was buying, and I told my Discord community the other day, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go into a risk off into NVIDIA's earnings just for in case we get the pop and the drop that I've kind of been talking about. I was telling people in my Discord, I'm like, if we dump, it's gonna suck. If we pump, okay, that's gonna be great. But I'm like, if we pump and then we dump, I'm not going to like that. A lot of companies right now are double beating and then they're still dropping, which sucks. And it's just kind of like an early caution. It's like, proceed with caution type thing, type feel to it. So I've been very cautious. I've been very risk off these days. Again, I'm still, of course, I still have my positions. I'm still going long in the market, but again, I'm also taking profit. Don't ever be afraid to take profit. Again, nothing I ever say is financial advice. Always do your own research, but that's just what I'm doing with my money. So what I told my Discord community is actually we literally sold the top, like literally. Okay, so we bought down here at 29 ish. This is where I was saying I was getting in at the support level. And then basically I started selling shares at 31 ish, not a huge gainer, but we did sell. And then I told them, I was like, you know what? I'm out. I'm going to go risk off. It's NVIDIA's earnings. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to take some profits off the table. I'm up on my position and literally sold it. We've been selling off ever since. Now, again, I did start buying today. I bought a little bit here at 29. And then I also bought a little bit here at like 27 ish. Now there is support at if you look at the overall trend, I actually had to adjust the trend a little bit because I was missing something here. But anyway, as you can see, the overall trend, we're still in an overall trend. Okay, a bullish overall trend. So if we come back down to touch this 25.70 level on Monday, I would add more to my position. I think this is a good bounce level. I mean, if you look at this chart, every time that we've bounced off of this level, we've bounced off of it a few times. This was basically, we actually broke below it here, but basically all the way back in, what is that, April of 2025. And we got a bounce. We actually broke below it, but then we broke above it. Then we bounced off of it, made an all-time high here, and then we bounced off of it again, and then now we're currently sitting at a potential bounce zone. Okay, so again, I did buy some today, and I plan on buying more. If we touch this 25.80 level, excuse me. Okay, so now let's go to NVIDIA. Now again, I think that APLD could be a $50 stock this year. So I am buying for a longer term point of view on APLD. Okay, now NVIDIA, I mean, as you can see, we've just been in this, look at this range. We've just been range bound. Besides this all-time high back in October, we've literally been range bound. Look at that, 195 and then 197. That was back in, what is that, October of 2025. So literally, what is that, 6 months we've just been range bound. Now, something I did notice on the charts is we kind of have some support here at this. Let me do this right at 170 ish, was 170 level. As you can see, oh shoot, as you can see, this 171 ish level, it's bounced a couple times right here. It bounced once, it bounced twice, it bounced three times, and looks like it's coming to do it again. Okay, so this is an area of interest that I would add to my positions. If we came back down to this 171 level, I would be looking to go long in the market, buying some calls, buying some, more NVIDIA shares. So this is what I'm looking at. This is what a lot of people are looking at going into next week. Now, again, like I said, February is the worst month. So, hopefully March is a better month, and we're going to have to see, we're going to have to take it from there. But again, this 171 level, this is where I will be buying calls. As long as we hold it, I will be buying calls, and I will be buying more shares for the long term. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at for NVIDIA. Alrighty, that is basically it for the video. Again, just this is what I'm seeing now. Again, this is just my thoughts. I'm more bullish than bearish for the next coming weeks. Again, February's over now, or it's going to be over by the time the market's open again. So hopefully we're going into a better month. I do believe that we will start to I mean, big tech has been selling off like crazy. I mean, Microsoft is at what, 393. I mean, Google's down 10% from all time highs. Nothing crazy there. But I mean, it's been crazy. So I do believe that we are due for a run up at some point. So this is what I'm watching for the next week, next couple weeks. If you guys want me to chart something, drop a comment. I would love to chart it for you guys and look at some of these ticker symbols. So yeah. Now the last thing is my school community. Check out my school community. This is actually a great tool if you want to learn how to invest, you want to learn how to trade. I have a classroom with tons and tons of videos in here to show you, how to use the charts and how to use EMAs and how to use RSIs and stuff like that. I also have this trading software that I created. Basically, it's called truevest.ai. Now, what this one is that it gives you recommended trades based off of your risk tolerance, and we've been killing it with that as well. So definitely check that out. Link is in the description for that as well. And like I said, if you have any questions about the software, you can always come in here. You can always come into our Discord, ask questions. We have a section for that. Type something in here. Hey, I don't understand this. Hey, this and that, whatever the case may be. Okay. So again, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Let's see what happens next week. Again, those are the levels that I'm watching for SPY. Those are the levels that I'm watching for NVIDIA. And, like I said, if you want me to chart something, drop a comment. I would love to chart it for you guys. Join the Discord and we'll see you in the next video.